What's up, folks? Today on Knife Banter, we're talking Balisongs. We're going to do a little buyer's guide. Let's talk knives. All right, folks. I'm going to introduce our special guest, Troy from the workshop. Troy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Dallas?
I'm wonderful. So, if you guys don't know, this is the young man I reference all the time. If you've seen our videos, you've seen my Mannix. Well, half of the knives that I have anodized and customized come from Troy. He's really, really good with it. But today we're talking Balisongs. Troy is extremely passionate about Balisongs. I don't know. I know Balisongs. I just don't flip or twirl.
Flip.
What do you call it? I don't Balisong very well.
What?
Do you want to kind of maybe go over a little bit of kind of what got you into Balisongs real fast? Take a second.
Yeah.
And then we'll jump into the knives.
Sure thing. So first off, one of the things that brought me to Blade HQ actually was butterfly knives. I've been flipping since I was in junior high. I picked up just your generic, super heavy butterfly knife, anything that you can find, really, gas station, on the street, and it's all started from there. So I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me on.
So you're talking the Gateway Bali was a
Gateway Bali, yeah.
So real quick, we say Balisongs, we say butterfly knives. Is
Correct.
there a difference?
No, that's just the correct, I guess you could say, terminology name
Industry
for
term.
yeah.
Perfect.
For butterfly knife.
Just so y'all know, we know it doesn't mean anything different. Balisong, butterfly knife. Okay, Troy, let's just jump right into this. The BaliYo wing by Spyderco comes in at $9.80 on the website. It's a polymer frame.
Handle, yeah.
Handle. It's made in the U.S. It's a Spyderco. It's got these little clips here, so you can tuck it in your suit or your pocket. This is a pen. So it's the BaliYo pen. Kind of fun. So, Troy, $10 BaliYo pen. Super fidgety. Mm-hmm. I can't stop flipping these dang things in meetings. Why this one? Why'd you pick that one?
So, not specifically the wing, which I believe is just these I guess pockets here or spaces in there. That's the wing design. But I owned a BaliYo for quite a while, going through high school. It's just at such a low price point, like how could you not? Learning technical tricks like full twirls or something that you have to use your fingers a little bit more.
Can you do one of those with that?
I certainly can. It's a little bit more difficult with such a light knife. But,
well, it's super light. I mean, it only weighs like an ounce.
Yeah.
It's under an ounce. What is it, like 0.9 ounces or something?
Yeah, I believe 0.93.
To be exact, what an ounce is, folks, just for clarification, 3 miniature little peanut butter cups, Reese's peanut butter cups. I weighed them out of my granddaughter's treat bucket. It weighs 0.9 ounces, so almost an ounce, 3 of those do. So, if that helps you with the weight.
So 3 peanut butter cups.
3 peanut butter cups.
But yeah, you guys that are outside of the country, you can't buy knives, you're looking for trainers and stuff like that, something light, kids in school, places where you can't have knives or stuff that resembles knives. These BaliYo pens are great for if you're trying to get into flipping, you're trying to learn certain tricks. Not everything, right? I can still do a whole bunch of stuff with this and learn stuff with this comparatively to other stuff. It's a great option, especially at the price point.
Okay, next we have this fun little device here. I call it a device because, did you see that?
That was legitness. Yeah.
I did see
You
that.
see that little flip?
That was good.
I feel like I'm getting pretty good. Maybe I should enter a competition.
No.
Probably not. I literally just about cut my finger off with the Lucha about 15 minutes ago. Anyway, let's talk about the BBbarfly. This is the bottle opener. $30 on the website. Overall length is 9.8 inches. The blade or the bottle opener, if you will, is 4.75. It's stainless steel blade, aluminum handles. The total weight is 6.2 ounces. And BBbarfly stuff is made in Canada, our neighbors to the north.
The king in the north!
So, BBbarfly bottle opener. Not only is this made for opening one of your favorite chilled beverages, if that's what you're into, but it can also be a fun little trainer. I was flicking it a little bit. It's a little rough for me, but then again, I learned how to open a knife or a Bali about a week ago. As you guys have seen our videos in the past, I've always opened up the Balis like this because I'm like super scared I'm gonna like stab Kurt. Anyway, why that one, Troy?
So BBbarfly has been around for a long time, and they were definitely more popular when I started to get into flipping. I put this on this list because of the price point, and it's not a horrible flipper. It actually flips surprisingly well. The balance on here, the design, definitely a lot of thought went into the design. At $30, if you're trying to get into it, similar reasons for the pen. If you're outside the country, or you just want something like a novelty sort of thing for opening beverages, like you said, it's you can't. It's $30. You can't really find anything in that range that flips even remotely as well. And I've been flipping it, playing with it since we pulled it in, and it's definitely been growing on me. It's refreshing to flip something a little bit different that has a different bit of weight and a little bit longer or different width and everything for the handles.
Well, for the last couple of weeks, I've been playing around with a Glidr, and then to flip that was different. It's heavy. I noticed how heavy it is.
But it's balanced well enough to where I can't really do a whole bunch here sitting in the table.
Sure.
That's why we'll have the B-roll footage.
Absolutely.
But getting into butterfly knives, I would lean personally more towards something with handle bias, to where the handles are heavier. Now that doesn't specifically mean weight specific, like specific ounces, but a knife that's balanced to where if you were to, some guys do the balance tests, right? If they hold it out
perfectly balanced, as all things should be,
on their finger, you can kind of see if it leans towards the knife or the handles when you get closer to the pivots. Some knives that are considered neutral balanced are going to be, you put your finger towards the right underneath the pivots or right on top of the pivots,
And it'll balance.
And it'll balance.
Okay. So, and that'll help with different tricks and stuff, right? Or different styles, possibly.
Yeah, so everyone develops different styles if you start to get into it. More momentum-based tricks opposed to full twirls or half twirls that are just you're doing it with your fingers. It's more finger dexterity than it is timing and getting used to a certain weight. Mm-hmm. But I'd say for the majority of tricks that you get into at that beginner to intermediate stage, you want something that has heavy handles so that the knife doesn't get away from you.
Okay, next up, the Kershaw Lucha. So I'm going to double check this one because this is the sneaky little one that just about got me a minute ago. That pretty good? I felt pretty good about it. I felt confident. Okay, you'll notice this Lucha is a little different. We'll talk about that in just a second. However, just for basic specs, Kershaw Lucha, $120 on the website. Overall length is 10 1/4 inches overall. Blade length is 4.6 inches. The steel is 14C 28N, which is decent steel. It's not horrible, that's for sure. It's got a clip point. Handle length is 5.8 inches. The material on the base Lucha is stainless. The weight is 5.9 ounces. However, with these Flytanium handles on here, it takes the weight down to 4.53 ounces. I weighed it literally about 20 minutes ago. And it also deletes the latch. It runs on bearings. This one here is Troy's personal, so it also has the upgraded ceramic bearings from Flytanium. Mm-hmm. And it's also made in the US, and the Flytanium handles are too. There's many Balisongs. There's Bear Ops, Bear & Sons that come in that sub $100 category. I want to reference those because they are there. Personally, I think I would I would probably go with like, the bottle opener and then step up to the Lucha is kind of me personally. And I think obviously that's what you did because you picked these knives.
Yeah, so like you mentioned, I went through and I picked all of these, whether it was for, it's because I'm familiar with them or because of the price range, or I've heard about them, they've been around for a while, like the BBbarfly. And when we step up to this, $120 range, that's considered the budget range for Balisongs.
Yeah.
And that's definitely opened up a little bit over the last year or two, I'd say. Getting more knives. It's mainly trainers that you see around that $100 to $150 range. But of course, the Flytanium handles themselves cost $115.
Okay, so it's a bit of an upgrade then.
It is. Altogether, this knife's not including the cost of the ceramic bearings. Just the handles and the knife itself is $235, I believe.
So that's putting it up in the range of some of your more high end, but you're also you're upgrading everything to it.
Yeah.
So if you like customizing your knife a little bit, that's the Lucha's the way to go. Could be.
Yeah, I mean 100%. Starting out, this is my personal knife, like Dallas said. I just had the, standard stock Lucha for the longest time, and then when I started working here, I actually picked up a set of handles, and I've been loving it. It's been a great knife. The tolerances are that much better. The attention to design on the Flytanium handles makes it a lot more ergonomic to flip, a lot easier to flip. And the weight reduction is down to 4.5 ounces. These aluminum handles, going from stainless steel to aluminum, it's definitely a necessary upgrade if you plan on flipping and keeping your Lucha. And that's $235 range is where you're gonna meet for some other
Like
aluminum
the Raken
handles.
and stuff.
Yeah, aluminum handle Balisongs. They do have a sandwich construction.
That's what
titanium
it was. That's what
handles.
it was, titanium. Yep.
And just real quick, the difference between sandwich construction and
perfect, yeah.
channel construction, right? You've got sandwich on the left, or my left, and channel on the right on the Lucha.
Channel.
A new thing that's been coming into is speed channeling. So it'll be one piece, but you'll have this gap. You'll have a gap here as well. And people, I don't own any knives that are speed channeled, but I definitely gravitate more towards the channel construction for my rollovers and stuff like that. It just feels a lot better in hand. And as far as tuning, it's more simplistic. You tighten one screw opposed to having to tighten multiple.
Yeah.
Sometimes even the Zen pins. That's another great thing to mention is Zen pins opposed to tang pins.
Okay, talk about
So we've got tang pins, or a tang pin, on the BBbarfly, which would be, if you want to show them, that pin right at the top, which is how the knife functions, how it hits, it knows to stop so that the handles don't go all the way together.
Right here.
And opposed to Zen pins, like on the Lucha, we have them right here. You get better sound. That's another thing that flippers will gravitate towards, or people that are just getting into, Balisongs or butterfly knives. It's going to be the sound of, the aluminum or titanium hitting Zen pins opposed to tang pins. I've personally gotten a lot better, or noticed that knives on Zen pins have a lot better or more attractive sound than that of tang pins.
Okay. Sorry, folks. I get a little excited with this. This is the BBbarfly BBFireFly. That's a mouthful. $155 on the website. Overall length is 10 inches. The blade is 4 1/4 inches. The handle length is 5 3/4 inches. Your aluminum handles here, 4.6 ounces. This runs on washers, and again, made in Canada. Why difference between bushings, washers, and bearings, and or a combination of?
Yeah. So bearings are usually, there's not a lot of resistance in the handles, so you'll get more, and it also comes down to weight as well. But with most of the products that I've had the opportunity to handle and to flip, the ones that are on bearings have been like aluminum handles. Talisong is a great example.
Oh, the Talisong Z, Flightaniums, yeah.
Talisong Z, that's definitely one of the better budget knives, and it's on bearings as well. In the Balisong community, people typically don't like bearings just because, like I said, the resistance, and it's one of those things where you have to flip in order to kind of understand it. And even on an elementary level, like, you're not going to understand if you've been flipping for months, or if you only know 5 or 6 different tricks. It's you're not going to really understand.
Like this.
You're not really going to understand the
difference or the resistance or what the
I
benefit
can't
of.
quite put a name or it's what I've heard and observed is speed is one thing that people constantly keep mentioning for the bearings, opposed to bushings, and then just on pivots, right? But then you have tolerances. So knives that are on washers and bushings have pretty good tolerances. Sometimes you have a little bit of handle play.
Sure.
And then bearings, everything's usually pretty tight. Not a whole bunch of tuning that has to be done when you're on bearings. Of course, over time, if you use Loctite, that's another thing that it's really common to Loctite your knives. And then no bushings, no bearings, just washers or even just like pivots. You'll have a lot more handle play, and you'll get more resistance.
And talking about handle play and whatnot, you were kind of explaining to me a little bit that sometimes the handle play can actually make a huge difference, right, in your tricks when you're doing a trick.
Yeah, I mean, over the years, I've heard people say, they prefer a little bit of handle play, a little bit more, and it depends on which system, right? Your bushings, or your bearings. But for me, the tricks and the style that I enjoy flipping with is definitely tighter tolerances are going to be better. And when you get up to the higher price ranges, right out the box, you want tight tolerances. You want no tap, right? So if I shake the knife like this, I don't want it to be tapping in between the handles. And the blade play, you want there to be minimal. So when you push on each at the same time, it's going to be not a lot of movement.
Yep.
BBbarfly designed these recently, or at least we got them recently. Yeah. They upped their game with this, especially to compete in that $150 range against some of these aluminum flippers like the Krake Raken and their Triton trainers from Squid Industries. Great knives, but BBbarfly kind of has been in the background for a little bit with their just standard aluminum or stainless steel. Budget flippers.
$30 bottle opener.
Yeah, and I was thoroughly impressed with these. I was going through our inventory not too long ago with one of my coworkers, John, and we stumbled across this, and we were like, in awe. We really didn't expect that to be a BBbarfly product or this to be really in inventory. And I can definitely recommend this. I've been flipping it for a while, and since we brought it in, I was flipping it pretty hard, and it can definitely hang in there with those other well-known brands.
The BBbarfly BBFireFly is out of stock, but there's many. If you click on the link, there's many different variants of it. If one's out of stock that you want, click on the wish list and sign up for the email. So when we get them into stock, you'll get an email and you can pick one up. We're moving on into the Glidr. Now let me see if I can open it and double check my bite side. I have a habit of doing that. I feel good about that one too. But I've actually been playing with this one for a couple of weeks. This is Troy's personal Glidr as well. But he left it with me for a little bit. Anyway, this is the Glidr Original 4 Carbon is its name. $155 on the website. Overall length is 9.8 inches from tip to tip. Blade length is 4¼ inches. It's blade material stainless. It's got this, it's a trainer, but it's got these aluminum channel handles here. It's a trainer blade, as you can tell, made in Australia.
It's on bushings.
Oh, and it's on bushings. It's on bushings too.
This is the first trainer that I've actually, saved up the money for and went out and bought. I mean, comparatively, right? Like I'll buy some higher end knives, but for a trainer, me personally, I'm not going to spend more than that $150 range.
Sure.
And I actually got bored. The original colors on these are pink and black, and I got bored at work and decided to bead blast both of the handles. And at first it was kind of rough. It had a little bit too much grip, and then I kind of sanded it down and made it more ergonomic to flip. But I love this thing. The tolerances right out of the box.
Yeah. You can't recommend it more.
I can't.
It feels great just to flip compared to, so it feels very similar to the Lucha that I was playing around with a little bit. But again, understand, I don't flip a ton, so I don't know the differences there either very much. But
yeah, it's going to feel a little bit different, especially this
it's a little bit.
It is aluminum handles, right?
Yeah.
So I believe weight is pretty similar. Yeah, Glidr 4.5 ounces.
4.5 ounces. Yeah, I forgot to mention the 4.5 ounces on the weight as well, and that's about where you want to go with your Balisongs. 4.5 ounces, right?
Yeah. So 4.5 ounces. I was just looking out of curiosity for those higher end Balis. 4.5 ounces is what the knife makers are usually going around. Sometimes lower end of 4 ounces, but 4 ounce, 4 point something.
4 point something.
Yeah.
But not 4.9. We're talking 4.5e.
Even 4.9. If you break into the 5 ounce range, I know I believe some of these BRS products that we carry or have had in stock previously, they will touch into that 5 ounce range.
Okay, so that's okay.
Yeah, if they're balanced correctly,
Perfect.
they're gonna be perfect.
It's all about balance. All right, next up we have the Squid Industries Krake Raken. Again, double checking my bite side. Bite side.
Bite handle.
Bite handle. There it is. This is a Squid Industries Krake Raken. $283 on the website. Total length is 10.1 inches. Blade length is 4.5 inches. Blade steel is AEBL. It's a Tonto stonewash. It's got the aluminum channel handles here. The weight is 4.3 ounces and it's US made. This one here feels so solid, man.
Yeah. So you come up to, the higher range, 400.
Yeah.
Let's start at 300 to $700 range for butterfly knives. And they're going to be, titanium and have these perfect tolerances. For a live blade knife, at the price range that it is, this one is the Blade HQ exclusive.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more pricey. They usually go for around $250. This is it's become more of like a home base for people, right? Like
sure.
You learn on here, you do all your tricks on here. It's very, neutral, balanced, flipping it, easy to learn tricks with. And it's just one of those knives that's like you come back to and you're like, wow, it's a well-built knife. And Squid Industries, they were flippers before they started making knives. And they came out with a really great product.
There's different variants of it, so please click on the link. Go check out the different variants and different price ranges and stuff like that. The link will take you to it. This particular one, $283. Moving on into this really cool one. You guys have seen this one before because we used it for a video that we did for wish list knives. So the knives that we found that was the most signed up for wish list knives that we have here at the Blade HQ, and this was on the list. This is the BRS Hybrid Replicant, $440 on the website, 10 inches from tip to tip, 4.5 inch blade, 154 cm, excuse me, titanium, and you can see in there. So it's titanium handle, and this is the sandwich style.
Liners and handle. Yeah.
Yep, liners and handle are titanium. You can see that Troy's definitely played around with the color on that thing. Man, it is beautiful. Made in the US. Now this one here comes in weight-wise at 5.9 inches. Wow.
Wow.
Ounces. So that's kind of a beefy little thing, but you know what?
Yeah, it's definitely on the heavier side.
Oh, she's solid though.
And this was I believe this was the first knife that I bought when I started working here.
Was
there was a drop that was coming in, and someone had mentioned it, and I like had to buy one. This is the only rep that I've owned. I have some friends that they own the standard G10, which has the G10 handles, and I guess the liners would be on the inside. So the liners are titanium. But BRS has been around for a while since I started getting into flipping, and they make a great product. And
they make amazing
the amount of
products.
customization that's out there for these knives is
If you really want to get into the higher end
crazy.
and also customization of your knife, that's the one.
The hardware in here. Jimpy Designs, newer knife maker, came up I believe in 2020. They helped dial the tolerances on these knives, especially after taking it apart and doing the orange peel and everything and getting kind of weird tolerances out of it. Helped bring it back home.
Dude, it's beautiful. That is a beautiful piece. All right, next up we have the Biegler Bladeworks. I'm going to double check the bite side, the bite handle. All right, the Biegler Bladeworks. This is the stink finger.
The blade shape.
Yeah, sorry, the child in me. So it comes in at $680 on the website. It is 9.75 inches from tip to tip. Blade length is 4.3 inches. Blade material, this is CPM 154. Excuse me. The handle length is 5.3 inches. Titanium. The weight is 4.78 ounces. And it runs on washers. Again, this is the designer's Brian Biegler. This here is high end. Obviously, the 680.
I'm not familiar with this brand or the maker, Brian. So I see about every Bali that comes in through receiving. I just have to be notified about it. I have to
be notified. That's in his job description. Notify him when a Bali comes in.
Most definitely. But the attention to detail on this knife, like the texturing that's on the handles of these knives is crazy. There's anodizing on the inside of the sandwich construction, and at first, right off the bat, I saw these. I saw the price point, $680, and I was like, for $680, there's a little bit, of handle play and stuff that I look for that's kind of like nitpicking. But I was able to sit down and flip it for a while. And he does sell some few other variations that are cheaper, down to like 500 and something, and then. I believe this might be one of the higher ones.
If you click on the
700.
link, there's some different variants and stuff. It'll take you to the different designs.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed flipping it. The texturing helps with keeping a grip on the knife. There's no latch. I like having latchless Balisongs, or if I get a latch on there, I take it off. And the weight is just, it's pretty good. It's pretty dialed. I'm not sure the intended purpose was for flipping, and that's that appeases a different side of the community.
Yeah.
You've got guys that come in to flip, and then some guys that come in to collect. And this is definitely, if you like collecting Balisongs, I would definitely say grab a Biegler Bladeworks knife and have it in your collection. The build quality is phenomenal. And
So
even
moving in,
a nice touch though.
Sorry.
A nice touch is the hidden Zen pins.
nice.
So you cannot see these end pins unless you're looking from the side.
Yeah, I was gonna say I saw that when you were pointing it out a little earlier.
Yeah, which is very difficult to do, especially with titanium and even aluminum. Most of these are press fit, or you've got like hardware to screw them in.
This is a beautiful piece of work. So like in everybody in the knife world and the knife community, all you folks out there, you have your budget, you have your mid-range, you have your grail knives, you have your high-end you collect and stuff like that. this video has ran a little longer than normal than we intended, but I've had a lot of fun sitting here talking with Troy. We talk all the time about knives. When we bring up Balisongs and butterfly knives, man, he gets so passionate. I hope you guys can feel his passion over the video. And just an amazing young man. He's moving up. He's gotten into the knife world. I hope he stays in it. I hope he comes up with some new cool butt-whooping design that some old guy like me is going to be like, what the heck are these kids doing these days? Look at this thing. It's totally cool. Okay, maybe not. But anyway, folks, I want to thank you for coming along for the ride while we talk Balisongs. We'll catch you on the next one. Welcome to the end screen, folks. If you liked what you saw here, like, subscribe, tell your friends, check out our other videos. Catch you on the next one.